while the Bills sucks, this will be the easiest win of the year, so, yeah. You guys are actually still there? I guess I'll go into the details.
12 seconds to go in the game. Niners lead by 4. Hill fires the right side.
So, like always, let's start and look at the injuries. And starting off, we'll look at the Bills. And the notable injuries, I'll look at the ones that have a game status. And just kind of look at who the important players are for the Bills. So, number one, they only have one player listed as out, and that is a backup defensive end, Shaq Thompson. He's a talented young defensive end that he can be used in a rotation there, so it's good for the Vikings that he's out. That's one less pass rusher to worry about, so that should be good news for our offensive tackles. And now going to the players that are listed as questionable, they have Phillip Gaines, Taron Johnson, Ray McLeod, LaShawn McCoy, and Tawan Jones. Of course, the biggest one here is LaShawn McCoy, the heart of their offense. If he's out, why even bother showing up? It will be way too easy. He has a rib injury, so it's not something that should slow him down. I expect it's one of those things that if he gets dinged up, the Vikings get under his shoulder pads and drive him to the ground, kind of where you're supposed to tackle, and you hit him in the ribs, he might be out for a play or two, maybe even our quarter. You know, he might have to be out for a while, might have to get those Aaron Rodgers drugs in him. But he'll play because, well, I think he feels like he has to. Otherwise, the Bills don't really have any other, and the rest of the players aren't really good enough to really worry about. So going to the Vikings, we have a lot of notable injuries and a lot of star players that are out for this game. So let's start off and look at running back sensation. Dalvin Cook is listed as out for the Bills game. So this is a big news thing. But the Vikings are lucky enough that we have a very, very good backup tight end in Latavius Murray. So this is a really good chance for him to get his carries in and see what we can do with a little bit more of our power game instead of all the inside zone and outside plays that we can do with Dalvin Cook. And maybe more intriguing is finally get to see which one of the two backup undrafted running backs the coaches really like more. Now, if I had my money on it, I think Mike Boone is probably the better running back. But since it's Dalvin went down, Latavius is the straightforward power guy, I think Rock Thomas complements that running style more. He's the shiftier Jerick McKinnon style runner, and I think that would be better suited if we want that 1-2 punch. So we'll have to see how we do with that. Furthermore, maybe one of the biggest pieces of the Vikings defense and a leader of the defensive line, Everson Griffin, is also out. So I think the Vikings will probably shift Neil Hunter to right end, and then we'll have, because unfortunately B-Rob's no longer with us, rest in peace, he's not dead. We'll probably have a rotation over there with Stephen Weatherly and Tishawn Bauer, since we don't have that very solid number 3 defensive end. So it'll be interesting, again, who will win that battle, and who will really make this step up, will Bill step up, and be that very good backup defensive end that I think we really need. So, furthermore, 2 more are out. Starting off with backup tight end David Morgan. Now, he's not a big name guy, but the best blocker that's not an offensive lineman on the offense. So this is a big, because, you know, when we want 2 tight end formations, run up the gut with Latavius Murray, now we don't really have that. But on the flip side, we get to see a lot of Tyler Conklin. Now, Conklin was pretty god-awful in preseason, but of course, he had god-awful Trevor Siemian throwing him the ball. So I think David Morgan going out gives Tyler Conklin a chance and to prove that maybe we have 2 receiving tight ends on our team, hopefully. So that'll be fun. And also, Marcus Sherrills is out for this game with a rib injury. Now, another one. There was some speculation going on that instead of cutting, well, we cut David Perry, maybe we'd have put Marcus Sherrills on IR or just cut Marcus Sherrills. but he's out for this game, so this gives other returners like Holton Hill and Mike Hughes chance to return kicks and punts, so that'll be fun, because I think Marcus Sherrills at this point is just a fair catch guy. I don't really think he has many more explosive runs, so let the younger guys have the crack out of it. We also have one player listed as questionable, and that is the aforementioned Mike Boone. Another point towards Rock Thomas being active for this game. They might both be active since we have those other players that are out. But yeah, I like the chance of Rock Thomas now, especially because Mike Boone is a little bit dinged up with a groin injury. We have other players listed on here as well. Mackenzie Alexander. Pat Elfont is listed on here, but good news, Mike Zimmer said he's playing. For some reason, he said he won't be starting, but he will be playing, so that'll be fun. We'll probably have some rotation there at center, and our interior line will probably shift around here and there, so it'll be really interesting to see who can win that. Holton Hill is a little bit dinged up. Rashad Hill is on here as well. I would hope Brian O'Neill continues to start, because I think he played just as well, at least, as Rashad Hill. So I like the idea of letting the rookie get in there a little bit more. And also, Matt Weil is on here with a wrist injury. You're a punter and you have a bad wrist. Is that how bad Daniel Carlson was missing? He was kicking your wrist? But there we have it. There's the injury report. So let's break down the game a little bit, and let's look at the Bills on offense. Of course, led by rookie quarterback Josh Allen. Big arm. He's got some speed with them, but not really a dual threat quarterback, like maybe Kirk Cousins level speed. So big arm. He'll make mistakes, probably overthrow some receivers. He's a quarterback that really wanted a year to redshirt, and he's not going to get it. So I don't think he'll be very good today in this game. I'm expecting less than 200 yards, maybe 2 interceptions. It might get a garbage kind of touchdown, so it doesn't look as bad at the end of the day. But I'm not expecting a whole lot from Josh Allen, because part 2, their receiving core is pretty bad too. Their number 1 receiver is Kelvin Benjamin, who had a few good seasons with the Panthers, but that was catching passes from Cam Newton and not Josh Allen. And he didn't even do very well last year with Tyrod Taylor last year in Buffalo. So I'm not expecting a whole lot out of the receiving game. LaShawn McCoy, a very solid running back, of course, shifty and can catch out of the backfield. And of course, the Vikings are really good at stopping the run and stopping receiving backs. So again, not a big concern. I expect him to be right around 80 yards, maybe if he's feeling really well. But I would expect the Vikings to do their best to shut down LaShawn McCoy and force the Bills to throw the ball, and that would help on the other side of the ball on the Vikings offense, because the Bills on defense have a very good number 1 corner, and they have 2 solid safeties. They have Micah Hyde from the Packers, and they have another guy that's very solid as well. They have a young rookie Mike linebacker who is very good, a lot of speed, and kind of like a rookie version of Eric Kendricks. So they have talent on defense, but young, and they need to really figure things out. So I think they have that number 1 shutdown corner, so I'm not expecting a whole lot from Stephon Diggs. He matches up very well on him, and they have those good safeties to take away those deep bombs. What I am expecting, of course, Adam Thielen in the slot against this very unproven secondary will have a huge game again. And if there was ever a time for Laquan Treadwell to bounce back, this is a perfect opportunity for him to come through and maybe do 80 yards, an 80-yard game, and maybe 2 touchdowns. That would be absolutely fantastic. I would love Laquan Treadwell to come and prove that he's the Vikings' number 3 wide receiver. Otherwise, this would be a big game for him to lose that spot as well. So there we have the Vikings on offense. The Bills on defense and offense aren't very good. Their defense is a lot better than their offense. But the Vikings are just hands down the better football team. And I really see this game as kind of a preseason week 3 part 2. I'm expecting a blowout. Hopefully we're up by 17 points at least at halftime. Score another touchdown on our first drive on the second half. And then slowly take some of our key members of their team out. Start with the guys you can rotate in and out with, like Adam Thielen, Stephon Diggs, make Laquan Treadwell be a #1 target for the second half. That'd be pretty sweet. Allow Tyler Conklin. We don't need Kyle Rudolph to get dinged up. Like, this reminds me a lot of the Browns game last year, where we got Everson and Rudolph dinged up, and it hurt us a lot in the playoffs. So rotate those guys out. See if our young guys can do things. I like the idea of Mike Hughes shifting in at the second half instead of Xavier Rhodes. It should be a lot of fun to see those younger guys in the second half, but that, of course, starts with the starters putting points on the board and not taking their foot off the gas. So give me your thoughts in the comments. My score prediction is Minnesota 31, Buffalo 13. We'll see you guys in the next Josie Vikings video. We'll see you guys in the comments. See you guys then.